It is January 2nd, Friday, January 2nd, 2026. It's gonna be hard to get used to saying that. Anyhow, been listening to some audio books and stuff, and there's this thought that a lot of times the reason why we're not successful is because of our past failures. They keep us down. The enemy likes to remind us of how we failed in the past, so don't listen to that voice. You may have an opportunity coming up, and I was listening to Johnny Quinn's book, Push, and he talks about in there that he asked the question, he says, are you ready for your opportunity, or better off, have you been preparing for that opportunity? Because when that opportunity comes, you better be ready, right? And this is a guy that he played in the NFL. He also was on the U.S. Olympic team for bobsledding back when it was in Russia. He was actually the guy that got stuck in, I think, the bedroom or the bathroom or something. The doors, it was a brand new facility, and he had to bust his way through the door. If you remember that story, he was the guy that did that. But anyhow, been listening to his book, and then there's a quote in the next chapter, and I love this quote, and it's from Winston Churchill, and he says, success is walking from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So success is walking from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. In other words, you learn from that failure and you move on, and that helps you to keep going forward, and so that's why doing these daily vlogs, it forces me to get in and listen to other people, some motivational people. Johnny Quinn, he's like a motivational speaker, speaks at different things, and anyhow, it's a real good book called Push. Just suggest that to you. I don't get any endorsements from it, trust me. Anyhow, I want to talk about that just a little bit, because a lot of times we look at the things that we've done in our past that hadn't worked out, wherever we're at right now, and maybe we think, oh, I failed at this or I failed at that. No, you've learned. A person that hasn't failed at anything, he ain't doing nothing, because you've got to fail in order to learn to keep moving forward. Trust me, that is truth. So I just encourage you, those of y'all who have, failures have got you down, stop looking at it as a failure and look at it as that I have learned something from that. I wanted to also say that there's a lot of, man, I just got a whiff of whatever's been cooking over here at 903 Brewery. It smells real good. Anyhow, started a small business, 2024? Yeah, in 2024, September 2024. And it's been rough. The roughest thing, believe it or not, has been the Google business page. You don't want to get in Google jail, folks. What I have learned from that's where my failures have come in this business. And I have failed many times now with the Google business deal. So I won't pay anybody to help me with that anymore, because they got me suspended. I got myself suspended for changing the address. They have a lot of power. So about 85% of my business came from Google. And when that shut down, oh my gosh, my phone quit ringing. And my business is a RV repair business. When people are RVing in your area, which the area that I'm in is in the Texoma area, and there's a lot of RV camps, a lot of campgrounds and stuff. So it's something that I love, meeting people, and sometimes it's not even in parks, it's at their homes, places like that. It's a great opportunity to get to meet other people and get to talk with people and what have you. But just don't let the things that where you haven't succeeded, we got to quit calling them failures. What can we call them? What's a good word? How can we rephrase that to where it's not failures, but it's learning points, or it's you got edumacated or whatever. You know, I'm trying to think out loud here, and see what we could call it other than failures, because failure is such a negative thing. But anyhow, yeah, it's just been driving around. I was looking for something at some pawn shops, been checking out areas and the town, and you know, there's a lot of these old buildings and stuff. They got so much history around here, and I'm thinking about adding some of that in here. You know, I go to a lot of these small towns that, you know, they used to be thriving because of the railroad or whatever it was, and now the town's not thriving for whatever reason. It just exists, you know. And that was something that I've enjoyed from some of these other YouTubers, is these small town videos. I watch Nick and Joe. They travel around quite a bit. There's somebody that's semi-local. I think they live in a hotel, but I think it's down in Plano or Frisco area. You know, I was thinking about doing some of those videos. I know Adam did some of those videos, so I don't know. Let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in. Maybe some small town stuff as well, content that somehow can relate to the inspiring people. I don't know, just trying to think out loud here. But that's what I wanted to talk about today, is just how Winston Churchill said, success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. No loss of enthusiasm. So just, you got to keep moving forward, and whatever that failure was, that's a lesson. That's it. We're just going to call them lessons. So walking from lesson to lesson with no loss of enthusiasm. Whatever that's worth, and let me know what y'all think on maybe some of these small towns around here, some historical sites maybe. Is that something that would be interesting? So just let me know, and you know, hey, stay positive about today, tomorrow, and the next day. We'll make it through it. You know, my goal is to do a vlog every day. And I was sitting down, I was like, I'm gonna have my grandson this weekend. Come Sunday and Monday, I'll have my grandson. Not all of Sunday, but I'm just wondering, I'm like, well, how am I gonna do this with him, you know? Thinking that may not be as logical as I think, but I'm gonna try. I'm trying to vlog every day. That forces me to look for something positive each day. I hope that finds you well. Y'all take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next vlog.